Mom beauty shop. Try our scalp treatment.
Oh. Oh, customer, make 'em ballyhoo.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Redskin? I'd like to buy a tom-tom.
Bracelet.
No.
Moccasin.
No. I want tom-tom.
Me give 'em tom-tom.
Oh, thank you.
Me, I don't know. Oga, umala haba.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, I want to buy that.
Me, I don't know. Stick wood. No, go take 'em, look.
Oh, they're gone.
Make 'em spring.
Uh-huh. Look at the fun they're having. Isn't that cute?
Don't make 'em smoke, don't make 'em fire. Make 'em hot. Heap big point.
Oh, isn't he a little darling? Oh.
Hello, Toots.
Oh. Look at him.
Funny fella. Uh-oh, we gotta go.
Oh.
So long,
Oh.
Oh, what's the matter with her? That's no pot. That's tom-tom.
Tom-tom?
Uh-huh. Look, like this.
Oh.
Play. Big Indian brave. Just beat that drum and make it hum. Let's swing like craze. Play. Princess White Wing. Don't feel forlorn. Grind out that corn and make it swing. Come in violin. Trombone make it sing. Sugar boy, cymbals ring. Yes, everybody swing, Oh, let us play, Mr. Redskin. You're in the groove now.
Hey, okay, daddy. Hello, boy, you the ball. We're put Indians with a boy. Oh, me in the jam. Bong, 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 bong. Look at my So long, everybody.
What up, cyberspace cadets, cyber fam, and fanbots everywhere? Chat, what's up? It's IRATE Prostate. It's Sunday, ice cream Sunday, as it were. And the reason I call it ice cream, of course, is most people consider ice cream to be a treat. And to me, a treat is talking to somebody that I'm really interested in, somebody I want to know more about. Somebody, in this case, is somebody that I met a long time ago and never got a chance to talk to because they went and they came back and then they with something different, and we're going to talk all about that shit with the artist formerly known as Rackus News. All right, and some of you will light up and say, "Oh, Rackus, I remember that guy." All right, he is now going by Kullivar or Kullivar. I didn't even really clear that, so I apologize. Mr. Kullivar, you want to say hi to everybody? How do you say it? Say it, so I'll say it right, man.
Kullivar, I say Kullivar, but you can pronounce it any way you want to. It's a fictitious name. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so what we got here is I've got some questions. And I'll start to, yeah, it's an interview. I guess there might be a couple.
There you go.
Right. Let's see. So, and we always start at YouTube, and then we kind of go around the block and kind of check out the little biographical stuff, and then we get into aesthetics, and then we wrap up with the chat. As you know, you must take notes. If you want to ask questions to Mr. Kullivar, okay? Kullivar, whatever you want to call it, feel free. He says it's cool. All right?
Yeah.
And I want to say hey to Goat Man. We have been blessed by the goat. That is a good thing. Roots Calhoun, Grady dude. Greetings, dude. He'll be in the chair next week. Interesting guy, man. We hit it off just like that, man. So it's like I gotta hang out with this guy and talk to him too. So and Uzi Q and Madness, greetings. All right, we got some stragglers. Let's see what we got here. All right, fam. We're gonna go into it. All right, and as people straggling the door, we're gonna go through the basics, as I say. All right, so Kullivar, what was the main reason you decided to come to YouTube? What brought you? How long has it been, and then what got you to start making videos yourself, or got like what I call it, getting on the other side of the screen?
That would be actually Antoine.
Talk about that.
Yeah. I saw a video of his, and I started watching a long time ago. It was called Caffeinated or Die, I think. It was in the morning, and I started watching his live streams with Anti-Hero and oh damn it,
Zell.
Yeah, the Zell and the love of everyone's life. Oh my god, I'm mind blanking her name.
Badon?
No,
Ishtar.
But she's awesome. She's awesome. Who?
Ishtar, maybe.
No. Oh damn it, I can't remember her name. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I absolutely loved her. She was awesome. But no, Antoine got me into doing it, doing the political side of stuff. So I started doing that. Didn't see much progress, but I don't know. It was fun. I liked it, so I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And then one day, what happened was I made there was everybody knows the Astartes, the 40K videos for Astartes, right? Mm-hmm. And all of them were out. It'd been 2 years since they, put the last one out, and you had like 16 or 17 major channels put out their explanation for Astartes. So I was like, hey, no one's done one for just new people that don't know anything about it. So I'll put one out like that. So I put it out on the channel thinking 10 people would watch it. I put it out, I think, at like 8 p.m. Woke up about 7 a.m. Flipped up my channel in studio. 10,000 people had watched it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I had over, I think, 2,000 subs in a single 8-hour, 10-hour time frame. So yeah, I just went, holy cow! And then I was like, sweet, I can monetize. So I started. The
streamers that are listening to this right now are puking.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's great, man. All right, keep going.
Okay. So the thing was, I know trust me, they're not going to get done puking yet. They're either going to laugh or puke harder, one of the two. By the time we get done. So the thing was, I wait for monetization, and I wait, and a month goes by, and I'm up to like, I think 4,000 or 5,000 subs by this point. You know, the video's been seen 60,000, 70,000 times, and I'm like, okay. So I write, YouTube email saying, what the hell? I wait about a week, and I get an email back saying, oh, you can't monetize. And I'm like, I can't monetize. And they're like, no, we won't let you monetize. And I was like, okay. So then I had to sit there and make the hardest decision I've ever made. Do I keep going with a channel I can't monetize, or do I scrap the whole thing and just start over?
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, I'll do a little experiment first. So I put out another CNN video, another politics video, and it got about 300 views. And then I went and I put a 40 key lore video out just about the Imperium. It got 6,000 views. And so I was like, oh, okay. So basically what that told me was there wasn't a real, for whatever reason, the algorithm really didn't have a flavor for my politics, but it did for when I did 40K stuff. So I thought, okay, screw it. So I just deleted the whole channel and started all over. And when I put that new video out on the new channel, it didn't get 10,000 views in a day, but it got like 17 or 1,800. And let me see, in the last year, I think I've gotten 7,389 subscribers.
Amazing.
And that video has gotten let's see, I'm scrolling real quick. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about this.
No, you're fine, man. We're just chilling out. Got a little bit of King Weed playing in the background, and I do want to promote everybody to go to Bandcamp and buy King Weed's latest album, "Living the Tyranny of Freedom," I believe is the name of it. And they're all protesting. They're French, so they're all protesting the coup shit. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the vax passport thing. Sorry.
You're okay. So I put it out in June 9th of 2020, and so far we have 905,732 views.
Fuck yeah!
We have 3,049 comments, and we got 33,703 likes.
Holy smoke! How do you sit through that shit? I mean, man, the comments are just like a. You just quit responding at some point, man.
No. I still respond if somebody has a good point, or if somebody has a question I haven't seen before, which is very rare. Then I'll actually respond to it.
Right.
If somebody's arguing with somebody else, then I'll try to come in and try to calm everybody down. But yeah, other than that, I just kind of let it roll, because the thing is that it's one of those things that I honestly, given that it was 2 years after the last one came out, after all those major channels had already covered it in explanation videos, I figured 10 people would watch this thing. That's it. And twice it knocked it out of the park and just sailed it to Mars. So
that's amazing,
whatever, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That happened to Phobos. I don't know if you knew him. But he started going into this cosmic mystery thing, and he shot up. He's got 20,000 subs now too now, and it was overnight shit. Yeah, exactly, man. So there's obviously you just tickle that right spot, man, of the algorithm, And but the subject matter, obviously, you've got something about the subject, because people are coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll explore that in a little bit more. Let's see. So you decided to change it from Rackus. Why did you call it Rackus to begin with? I think that's funny.
Well, it was an inside joke between me and some buddies of mine, because we were all, I was center right, they were conservatives, and everywhere online, especially on Facebook, they were getting called racist, for anything and everything.
Right.
So I thought, well, racist news, no one's going to watch that channel. You know what I mean? YouTube's going to bomb me. So I'll call it Rackus News, because everything's racist anyway. So why not?
Right.
It was kind of a play. It was kind of a joke on that 2 years ago, everything was and everything still is racist. So whatever.
All right. So is on your videos is what you do? Are you portraying a character, or are you being? How much of would you say is the real you of what we see on your?
All of it's the real me, but the thing is that when I do the voices for the videos, like I'll read a script. So when I'm doing the voice, I try to make it sound fun. So I'll say something like, I'll just read off your Discord. I'm out of Twitter jail. I will go and look in a bit. I've been busty with my plants today. Stuff like that. So you just kind of octave raise and lower your voice.
Right.
So you're not going to come out and just say, I want to tell you about the
Yeah.
You don't do that. It's going to inflect your voice.
Yeah.
And then there's actually stories I've written for 40K that are fan fictions. There's a playlist on my channel. It's called I think it's called Stories. And I wrote them all, and then I voice acted them all. And then the thing with the voice acting is that you have to, once again, you're changing out completely what you're doing. So if you're trying to read a script and you're trying to convey something that's heavy or dark or deep, then you got to slow down your voice. You got to really make it so that you come down a little bit, kind of get closer to the mic. You're not going to go, and then the spaceship blew up and he said, oh my God. You can't, people are like, really? Okay.
That sounds pretty. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. All right, so this is when we get into more of the biographical stuff. We'll come back to YouTube, and actually, I've got a spot just for the 40K thing, so we'll go there too. Let's see. Is there a food from your childhood that you couldn't stand as a kid, but now as an adult you actually like it?
Is there a what?
A food?
Oh.
It's kind of a weird question, I know.
Well, see, my childhood was kind of screwed up because I went to Outward Bound when I was a kid, right? So about age 10, I went to Outward Bound. Now, Outward Bound is a little retreat thing you can go on, and they stuck us on a boat, me and 12 other kids, stuck us on this old Viking vessel for 22 days, and we sailed around. We only touched land, I think, like 3 times. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so the thing, well, you'd come on land, let me change that up, sorry. You'd come on land every, after the first 2 weeks you were out at sea, the entire time you slept on the boat, everything. And then after that, every day you'd come on land to go for a jog, and then you'd hop back on the boat. But you weren't like camping out on land at all for any amount of time. It was off the boat, on the boat, really fast.
All right, so was this a punitive thing?
No.
Okay. Because, some of the Outward Bound stuff was, they flipped it and they kind of turned it into a punitive thing.
Right. Early on, it was, I got a, what was it, like a voucher or something for it?
Right, yeah.
Because my mom made like $10,000 or $12,000 a year or something, so it was for, poor kids. So they threw me on a boat with some of these kids were really rich. And the thing was, though, is that when you're on those boats, the thing is that you don't have salt, you don't have pepper, you don't have any food. You have like that big government block of American cheese.
Oh shit!
Right.
And
then you have they have grains and whatnot. So you have like noodles and stuff. but everything else you're catching, like out of the ocean, skinning fish, that whole 9 yards.
Dude, how big was the boat?
32 feet long by 10 feet or 12 feet wide.
Fuck, that is a small boat for 12 people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And two adults.
So how do you sleep? I mean, all right, so were there sails?
Yep.
All right, so y'all were doing the rigging and all that stuff, right? You were sailing the boat and catching fish and hanging out.
And we had oars too.
Oh, Bubba. Yeah,
So-
it's like
so
a
you
Viking,
pull the-
right? It's a Viking boat. That's right.
Yep. So you pull the oars in, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you needed to sleep at night, sleep on the boat, you'd pull the oars in so they ran across the boat itself, and they
Right.
wouldn't move. And then you'd lay on those oars
Oh, dude.
and sleep that way.
Oh, wow.
You get close to land, anchor down, and then pull the oars out, lay them across, and then that's what we all slept on. We all slept head to foot
Damn.
in sleeping bags. It was pretty cool. It was all right. But the point of this whole long-winded story is
No,
back to
it's
your
great.
point.
This is a great story, man.
Yeah, is back to your question. Because when you're out on a boat for that long without any kind of preservative food or anything else, when I got back home, my mom brought me a Subway sandwich, cold cut combo, which was my favorite, and a Mountain Dew, my favorite drink at the time. I got off the boat, took one bite of the sandwich, and spit it out everywhere because there was so much friggin' salt in the meat that I couldn't take it. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And then the soda was way too sugary. So I just kind of handed both back to her and just said, "Get me a bottle of water and an apple."
That's crazy. You know, but yeah, that'll reset your taste buds, man. And you realize how much there's so much salt in every fucking thing, man. You know?
It took I think it took like 2 months for me to get back to being able to eat regular packaged food. But it took a long time.
Yeah, I'm supposed to restrict salt. You know, and it's like you ain't, and the taste buds are happier. Dark's Conservatarian donates 5. Hold on a second, and I just saw that. Thank you, and says, "Hello, Prostate. Question for Kullivar: Are you S class or A team?"
A team, baby, A team all the way.
All right.
S class likes to drink their own urine to prove how manly they are. That's what they do in their spare time. S class is trash.
Wow. Okay.
Just for you, IRATE, the S class A team thing is actually from Sitch and Adams' show, and it's a fun rivalry between Sitch and Adam. So Sitch team or Adam team.
Yeah.
So it's a fun little rivalry they have. But yeah, it's you're supposed to pick one side and then talk shit about the other.
Yeah. Fuck Sitch. I like Adam. He's my man.
There you go.
I'm an Adam guy too. Sitch is sucking hind titty. Just saying.
Well, that's just because Adam's high all the time.
Thank God for cocaine.
There you go. Well, no, he's a pothead.
I'm just kidding, man. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on, man. IRATE got a weird thing in his head, and we can't do that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, one word. What would if you could use one word to describe your family growing up? What would it be?
Chaos. Absolute chaos.
Well, talk about that, man. Who was the most influential person? What kind of kid were you? Let's go there.
Very gregarious, very well behaved. I didn't see the point in cutting up because if I cut up, I didn't get what I wanted. But if I didn't cut up, I did get what I wanted. So it was just simple mathematical to me. My older brother, I'd say is the biggest influence. Mainly because he was the only sane one. So, and later when I was like 17, 18, 16, I started learning about mental disorders a lot more. Cause you gotta, and IRATE, you'll understand this one. I'm old. I'm in my 40s. So, back in the day, like early 90s, mid 80s, we didn't know a whole lot about mental illness, like bipolar, depression, all that. So we know a crap load more than we used to.
Oh yeah, no shit.
But it wasn't common knowledge at all, not even close.
Right.
So yeah, nowadays everybody and their grandma knows about it. But yeah, back then, no, it was very rare anybody really had any real hard nailed down stuff, because we're talking like DSM like 3, 4, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so 3 DSMs behind where we are now.
Yeah. It's
so yeah, he was the only one out of my family, I think, that didn't have a mental illness of some kind. So yeah.
So were you studious? What was the school like?
Oh God, no. I was fucking terrible. Yeah. The problem I have is that my brain's always been, I don't know how to really phrase it, but it's always been highly analytical. So if when I was a kid especially, I had trouble controlling it. So when I found out that high school and grade school and middle school, all this stuff I was learning, the vast majority of it, some stuff applied, but the vast majority didn't, had no application in the real world. So I just stopped caring. I wouldn't do my homework because it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'd infuriate my teachers from pretty much 4th grade or 5th grade on, because I got straight D's. But I would turn in a test and get a B or an A on it, on the test for the end of the chapter or whatever the hell it was. And I would never do my homework. So my homework was always zeros.
Yeah, so you got the
tests were always getting A and B's.
The wasted potential, the wasted potential speech.
Yeah,
right?
I got it all the time. But I flat out. But every time I brought up to them, I'd always argue back to them that, look, what you're teaching me is great, and that's, it's fine. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's got no friggin' use. When I get out of here, no one gives a shit I can do calculus. No one cares that I can conjugate my verbs. No one cares. You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't matter. So, and you take a young mind that's rebellious anyway and give them that kind of analytical ability, and yeah, it's a train wreck.
All right. So, do you have a favorite holiday or season that holds meaning for you?
Fall or winter.
Okay.
Because I'm a big guy. I'm 6 foot 200. Pretty muscular. I've always been a kind of a big guy like that. And the thing for me is that for whatever reason, my body retains heat really good.
Right.
So in colder temps, I do really, really good. But if we go to like the desert or somewhere else, I'm going to have a hell of a time.
Yeah. So you should try Alabama in the middle of August with
hell no
70% humidity, man. 110 degrees outside and shit.
Well, I used
real
to live
field
in
temperature.
I used to live in St. Louis, and hell no, never again.
Right. See, I'm like you. I'm built for cold, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a gorilla. I got hair everywhere but the top of my head, of course. All right, so let's see. If you could go back in time and talk to little Kullivar at the age of 8, what would you say to him?
I would tell that Kullivar, under no circumstances do you let mom spend the $10,000 money, the $10,000 I got from a settlement from being hit by a car. Let the bitch go homeless before you let that happen.
Wow. Well, so all right.
Yeah.
So you got let's talk about that, man.
Yeah, I was as far as I can remember, I was walking across the street to school, and a kid was bouncing a ball, and all I can remember is thinking that's my ball, because it looked like the ball I had at home, right? Mm-hmm. But I knew it wasn't my ball because my ball was at home and that was another ball, and that's the last thing I remember. And then I remember screaming all the way to the ER because I got hit.
How old were you?
8.
Okay.
And I got hit in the side, the left side, I think, by a car. And it was one of those big old boat cars.
Right.
you know. And the thing is the lady had ran the crosswalk. She wasn't looking. She had ran it and hit me. And the thing was my leg got jammed up under the engine somehow.
Oh, Jesus.
And it basically sprained everything from my toe all the way to my hip.
Wow.
On my right leg. And then apparently I had hit the ground so hard that it embedded concrete, a piece of asphalt, I guess, in the front of my skull. And I'd rolled over and tried to get up, you know, even from that. And when I did, the headlight slammed in my face and took out it didn't scar, thank God, but it did the whole little, I had a perfect thing where the headlight was on my face of where all the glass had ripped up the skin in a perfect circle.
Man. And so how long did it take you to recover from that?
6 months.
And so what happened? So you got a settlement from it?
Yeah. It was either go to court and probably get 40, and we're talking back in 1984, 5, 6, somewhere in there.
Right.
So we're talking a long time ago.
That was a piece of change back then too.
Yeah.
Sure was.
And the thing was that so it was go to court and get like $100,000, but have the attorney take like 90% of it.
That's the way shit happens, isn't it?
Or just take $10,000 and be like, cool, whatever. So, yeah. And my mom was the type of person that she was a hardcore lefty. And like a lot of hardcore lefties do, she abdicated all responsibility. So she was like, what do you think we should do? And I'm 8 going, I don't know, you're the adult. So yeah, so I had to make a snap decision at 8 years old. So I was like, we take the $10,000, I guess. You know?
Yeah. Man, I kind of don't know what to say. Yeah. So we kind of touched on school a little bit. What about high school? How did that go?
Straight D's again. Did lots of drugs, mainly pot. I was a grunge kid. That's about it. I never really caused any trouble, but I hung out with people that caused all kinds of freaking trouble. So it was fun. All
right, so let's kind of go back to the kid stuff for a second. So what was the craziest thing you did as a kid? So this sounds like you did some crazy shit. Besides getting hit by a car, of course.
Well, yeah, that wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And just so nobody gets the wrong idea, my mom spent the money on me, that $10,000. She'd spend it on like stuff for me, but she'd always ask if she could spend it on me. So that's why I said, you know what I mean? I'd go back and tell my 8-year-old self it's not that she took the money and ran away. That's not what happened. But just want to clarify. But the thing was, she was not financially responsible at all with it.
Right.
So, or to be a millionaire by now, several times over, because it was already in a mutual fund. But anyway, the craziest thing I ever did when I was a kid, let me think. There was a 50-foot wall we were climbing in Outward Bound, and they had us rappel down it. And the first time I rappelled down it, it was a lot of fun. And I was really scared before I did it, but once I started doing it, the adrenaline hits.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I love this. So I started letting go faster and faster and faster. And so I did it again. And the next time I only touched the wall twice coming down. So that was fun. That was really crazy.
Yeah.
And the other craziest thing I ever did was almost pass out during a brown belt karate exam. It's called a spirit test.
What does that entail?
Well, for the brown belts, you have to do, if memory serves, you have to do all the white, yellow, purple, green, blue, brown first degree, and then your push-ups. Then you have to do all the katas with all of them. So like the white belts that go up and do their test, you have to do that test. And then the yellow belts go up and do their test. You have to do that test too. So you have to do all the push-ups, the katas, the everything. And so every time a belt gets up and comes down, you just stay there. So to get the brown belt second degree, you had to stay there all the way through all these belts. So about an hour and a half later,
damn,
there's 11-year-old me still standing there, and we're just me and the other 11 or 12-year-old guy were just drenched. Our geese are just drenched in sweat. And it's called a spirit test. As long as you don't give up, you make it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so then you have to. And then you have to spar. At the end, they have the belt spar. You know what I mean? Well, if there's a brown belt second degree going up for his belt exam, you have to spar everyone.
Damn.
So you got to spar all the white belts, all the yellow, all the green, all the purple, all the blue, all the brown. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna spar all the black belts, and by the time I got to the black belt, I got to I think it was the second to last or the last guy in the lineup, and literally he came over and we did the fighting stance thing, and I was so tired and so dehydrated. He came up and pushed on the center of my forehead, and I literally collapsed. He didn't even do it hard either. He just touched me, and I was like,
that's funny.
Well, and the thing is that they were. Let me see. They had the lady that was one of the black belts was a registered nurse. One of the other black belts was an EMT guy. So it's not like, they were going to push you and then just leave you there. That's not what they did. They were really, really responsible about it. But yeah, they'd push you till you couldn't go anymore.
So it sounds like you gravitated towards more athletic type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you learn to play any musical instruments or anything?
I learned how to play the bass very, very badly, and that was it. And I've always still wanted to learn to play the piano.
Oh, nice. Nice. But, all right, so, so speaking of music, what was the first album you remember owning?
Fleetwood Mac, Tusk.
That's an interesting album, isn't it?
Love the drums.
Yeah,
love the drums.
Man, Mick Fleetwood is a cut above. Man, the dude he's a very interesting drummer, isn't he? The way that he keeps really good time, and he's also got this dramatic feel for the song.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing is I used to call him Animal.
Well, it's like
from the Muppets, because.
It's like thunder only happens when it's raining. That song, it's like it sounds like lightning. It sounds like thunder, and lightning. And it was really. It's just that's just something that just pops in my head right when I think about that. But yeah, so what was the first concert you ever went to?
Grateful Dead, JFK Stadium.
Wow.
That's when they did the last tour.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I got hit in the face with a titty.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes. and at least you can remember it, right?
It was fun because the thing was, I think it was like 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
And there was in the JFK Stadium. It's either JFK or RFK. I can't freaking remember. It's in DC anyway. They have the upper balcony, the upper stands, and then you had the grass, the playing field, right? And you had to have a special ticket to get down in the grass. So to get on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people were lining up. They'd bunch up like 50, 60 at a time and friggin' bum rush the bouncers that were checking the tickets. And so like 30 or 20 or 30 or 40 of us would get past them in a rush, and they'd only catch like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I went down and so I went with them. I ran with them, and I had 2 older guys that I didn't even know that were just like, "Cool kid, come on, hurry up, you can come with us, hurry up." You know what I mean?
Right.
And my mom's still in the stands doing whatever she's doing, and so I went down and I wandered up on this group in this circle, and they're passing around a J. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what this old guy hands it to him, and he's like, "Go ahead and hit it. It's okay, man. We'll keep track of you." And I was like, "Okay, I'm a teenager. You don't say this to a teenager,
Yeah.
So of course I hit it, coughed my guts out, And then I go walking around, right? Listening to the music and everything. And there's girls with their tops off with little tassels. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this one girl, she couldn't have been a day above 21, was dancing, and I was wandering through, and she just turned around suddenly and pop right in the face. I got hit with a booby. And she was all kinds of apologetic and everything else. And I was just looking at her, just smiling like an idiot. I was like, she's like, "Are you okay? I'm so sorry." I was like, I'm great. Just remember saying that.
So, all right. Speaking of what, talk about your first time with the chick. What was that like?
Sheesh. Let's see. I was at a house party. There was no alcohol. And I did the guy who was throwing the house party. I did his little sister in the bathroom.
How was that?
I was 13 and she was 13, and she instigated it.
Hey, man.
And he found out like 5 minutes after it happened, and she like comes out of they're yelling at each other, and there's like 30 people at this party. Okay, there's like 30 kids. There was a lot of people.
Drama.
And he like wanders up to me because I'm at the sink grabbing a glass of water, trying to act innocent. And he comes running up to me and he's like, "Did you do my little sister?" And I went, "No." And he looks back at her, and she's like, "No, I told you he ran out the door. He's got a red shirt on." And so they run out, and she like walks up to me and goes, "I think you better leave."
Nice.
I was like, no shit.
So what about the first time you got fucked up? Right? Not buzzed or not high, but I mean,
9 years old, I ate the wrong brownies.
Oh my God.
Yep.
You said brownies is a plural. Fucking, how long were you stoned? I mean, seriously.
There was a plate of adult brownies, right?
Mm-hmm.
That were never to be touched, and there was a plate of kids' brownies. Now, you got to remember, as a little kid, I'm always following the rules, right? So I can't really blame my mom on this one. I was deceptive. So she expected me to follow the rules, and I didn't, because I was like, well, the adult brownies smell and taste just like the kid brownies, so there's no reason not to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No reason not to take one. So I took one and I ate it, and I was feeling happy and fine, and then I was feeling really lightheaded, and then I was feeling, oh my God. And my mom just comes in with this. She comes home and she's like, she's concerned. She's like, "Oh my God, did you eat a whole one?" And I went, "Yeah." And she was like, "Okay, you stay on the couch and watch some cartoons. I'll be right back." And then she goes in the kitchen, and like 5 minutes later, she comes out. I don't know how long it was because, stoned.
Right.
But she comes out with like this big thing of pasta, big bowl of spaghetti. And she was like, "Here, eat this." And I honestly, I ate the whole thing. It took about an hour, but I did it. And yeah, and then I just passed out, went to sleep, woke up, and I was fine.
Oh, wow. So, all right. So, did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
All right.
I actually, I graduated from Job Corps, actually.
Okay. Talk about that.
A funny story about that is that I didn't get in any trouble. A buddy of mine did for, I think he was selling pot. He got caught driving without a license, resisting arrest. I think that was it. I think that was all of it. Anyway, so he gets sent to, his choice was juvie or Job Corps. So he chose Job Corps, obviously. So he goes to Job Corps and he calls me up like 3 months later, right? He's like, "Dude," he's like, "check it out." He's like, "You can get in and out with your GED in 3 months." And he goes, "And if you complete a job training program with them, you can get your high school diploma in like 5 months total." And I'm sitting there in high school going, "Dude, I got a year and a half, 2 years left of this shit."
Right.
Hell yeah. Sign me up.
Right.
We can knock this out in 5 months, baby, and I'm free. Hell yeah. So yeah, I went to the Job Corps person, filled out a waiver, and made every excuse in the book I could figure out to make.
We got a $1 tip from Coom Sock. Old Coom Sock, excuse me. Say, how could you forget that old Coom Sock being your first?
Well, it was late, it was dark, and I needed the money. I didn't want to talk about it. So
yes, he's on a Coom Sock kick right now for some reason. I don't know. I'm not privy to the details on that one, man. I'm just saying.
You don't. This is the internet. You probably don't want to know.
Yeah, no shit. So all right, so you finish up, you get your diploma equivalent. And what happens now?
Get out. I go back home. And I start looking into signing up for the military right out the gate. Because again, my older brother was U.S. Air Force, and he was an officer, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, hell, there we go. Plan for the next 4 or 5 years. Boom, done. And I was screwing around in town doing the normal, 18, 19-year-old thing. And I got a girl pregnant. And I went, oh, So I was sticking around with her trying to make it work. And around month 6 of her pregnancy, she left me and went crazy. And I went, okay, cool. So I just went and signed up for the military because the deal was, and then I got in as quickly as I could because the deal is that the military at the time would not take you if you were a single parent. So if you had a kid out of wedlock, they wouldn't let you in. But if I got in, then I knew I had a steady paycheck to pay child support. I knew I had my daughter would get, they could take her to the VA if they had problems. She could get medical care, for free and stuff. Because I was active duty, so.
Right.
And I was already separated from mom, so what's the difference?
Right. And this was like Air Force, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your job in the Air Force?
Intelligence operations analyst.
Holy smokes. Can you talk about anything you did or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Vaguely or detailed, whatever.
I got a funny one for you. It's kind of a funny, disturbing story. We did a lot of what's called mission planning and weaponeering. And so, okay, all mission planning is...
Before we get into it, all right, so where and when is this, okay? So everybody can pinpoint military
1998 history. To 2003.
Okay.
And I got stop loss because somebody thought it was a cute idea to fly 2 planes into a building. And we'll remind me, IRATE, to talk about that next because that one's a pretty crazy story.
Okay.
So the thing was this was during the Serbian conflict, and we were running PSYOP missions. Okay, mainly is what I was. Well, okay, I was running. I was helping plan out PSYOP missions, and so we're helping the pilots plan the routes. We're helping them figure out what the threats are, how to get in and out of a country, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's the gig. So I'm doing that, and MAGCOM, Major Command, comes down with this target that they think is a PSYOP would be a good place to hit PSYOP wise, and it's a barracks. Okay, now there's 3 barracks, lined up, and I'm sitting there going, okay, straight. This is cool because you can just take a B-1B, do what's called a what do they call them? Because when you have a B-1B and they drop 84 Mark 82s. So they're 500-pound bombs.
Yes.
You can carry 80 of the bastards, right?
Right.
So you fully load them up, and what you do is you have them do a cross. So if you have a straight line, let's say is the target you want to hit, you'd have 2 planes doing a cross on that line.
Gotcha.
Because that way the majority of bombs will hit your target instead of falling to one side or the other.
Right.
So that's why you do that.
Right.
So
we learned
that.
Yeah, we learned about that in World War II. It's like, okay.
Oh yeah. so we planned it like that, right?
Right.
And we checked with the IMIT guy, the satellite imagery guys, imagery intelligence guys, and they said, yeah, they sent us satellite pictures of all the trucks, and everything else leaving or gone from the base. So we think everybody's gone, right? So we're like, okay, cool, we can hit it. You know what I mean? Because it's a PSYOP mission. We're not trying to kill nobody. We're just trying to freak them out. Make them not want to fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, and this is in Serbia. So we go and we do the bombing run. Well, the imagery guys call us up and they're like, oh, by the way, we got bodies all over the place. Apparently, the Serbians had wised up to what we were trying to do PSYOP-wise, and they'd faked us out. They had taken a whole bunch of the trucks and moved them and left everybody there. So when we strung those bombs and blew up those 3 barracks, everybody was home.
Yikes.
Yeah, we didn't know. I was like, oh, shit. But they're bad guys, so we didn't care.
Yeah, fuck them, right? I mean, you're right to the enemy,
Yeah, it's one of those things that, damn. Oh, sucks to be them. That's about all you're going to get out of me.
Right. I feel you. All right, well, cool. PSYOPs are fascinating, though, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll drop leaflets. We'll blow buildings up. We'll blow things up where no troops are. That it looks like, why are you bombing that? Like, if you didn't know what the idea was behind it, you would literally think we were wasting millions and millions of dollars in munitions. Right. Up until somebody explains it, and then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I mean, if I go out in the field and I'm an infantry soldier and I come back home, and I've got no home to come back to because everything's destroyed. And now I'm living in a tent for the next 9 months. You know what I mean? Yeah, my morale's going to take a hit.
And no doubt.
I'm not going to want to fight very much. Especially if I can't stop you from doing it. That's another big thing the Serbians didn't have. They really didn't have they had surface-to-air missiles, but they didn't have really anything that could touch us too well. Right. So as long as we didn't get too low, we were all right. But yeah, go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, and the Air Force basically was made up of what, MiG-21, maybe 3 or 4 MiG-21s. That was it.
Oh, their Air Force? Yeah, no, it was tosser. It was terrible.
Yeah,
the Air Force. I can't really remember right now what they had, but I remember laughing when I found out what it was.
Right. I can imagine. It's like there was the Balkanization of the Balkans.
Yeah. Well, they had all Russian-made shit, but it was just. I remember it being. It was so old. It was like 1970s tech.
Yeah.
Is what they were trying to throw up against us, and our stuff was just way more advanced.
Yeah, brand new, man.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Like our what do you call them? The EMS guys, the electromagnetic.
Right.
The ECM guys, sorry.
Right.
Electronic countermeasure guys and the flying around the Boeing with the little disc on top.
The wild weasels
they were,
and shit.
Oh, yeah. They were scrambling the piss out of those guys. They didn't know which end was up.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I did a deep dive into the history of the wild weasels, man. And I've always wanted to kind of do a thing about it, but I might do that coming up.
Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah, it's cool as shit, man, because the electronic warfare is basically the defeating of detection of the enemy, detecting you, like putting out, destroying radar, anything that can, sense the target. And then plus on top of that, you're running stealth now with it. So you've got dedicated electronic guys that knock out the radar, and it's like very effective. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah. Or they'll just flat out they'll let you see the target, which is I ran into an ELINT guy who's electronics intelligence, so it's what we're talking about, because that's what they do.
Right.
They do electronic countermeasures, and he said that they'd sometimes they'd have fun, especially with the operators in Iraq, because they would let their passive radars go, so they could see our planes. Mm-hmm. But anytime a targeting radar tried to do anything, they'd completely just utterly jam the crap out of it, so they couldn't fire.
Exactly.
So they could see the planes, they could see them blowing things up, but they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. So that was when they were flying the Spark Varks, right? The F-111s,
so,
yeah. The F-1, they fitted the F-111 with all that equipment because it could carry all that shit, but they didn't have any weapons on them.
It was just funny to hear the stories though, from some of these cats. I was just like, that's messed up, dude. That's just messed up.
All right. So before we get into the more of the military stuff, all right. So, did you? Are you married now, or do you have any other kids?
No.
Okay.
I got the one daughter and a grandbaby, and I'm happy. That's it.
Oh, cool. All right.
I have nothing against marriage, but I have never been a guy that's been like, I want to settle down and have a wife with 5 kids. Mm-hmm. I've never felt that drive.
All right. So talk about the you had told me to jot down something about the VA disability thing.
Right.
Let's go into that.
Okay. So basically what happened was I have, since I got out of the military 20 years ago, I had a problem with my temper. And I've had a problem with, compulsions. So, basically my brain won't, so let's say you have something that's bugging you in your head. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that thing will bug you for an hour or two and then it'll go away. For me, it goes on for 6 or 7 days. Or months, every minute of every moment, and it doesn't stop. So as I got older, it got worse and worse and worse. So I finally went to the VA and went, because I heard that they were they were doing free medical care, and I was like, well, I need, I'm in my 40s, need to get my heart checked, at least that much. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Make sure the plumbing's working all right. So I go in to get my heart checked, and the next thing I know, I'm meeting with a therapist. I'm meeting with what's called a VSO. It's a advocate for veterans. And he's having me fill out paperwork to get on disability, and send that in. And the way the process works is you're going to go to the VA, get your clinical test done, tell them everything that's wrong with you. And then what they will do, because they'll recommend this over and over and over and over again, by the way. They'll ask you if you've talked to your VSO. They'll ask you if you filed claims for it. They'll ask you if you've, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They'll do it over and over and over and over and over. And so the thing is I went to the VSO, we filled out this thing after I did my physical stuff. And then he sent that in. And meanwhile, he's doing that. Doc wanted me to get checked up for like a dozen other things. Because it'd been 20 years, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So might as well just look at everything. So that's what they did. And then I got, I'm 70% disabled veteran. So for PTSD and anxiety.
Gotcha. People don't understand how debilitating anxiety itself can be. It's I'm disabled for completely different reasons. I have 2 oh my God, I can't even think of the shit that's it's just totally left me. Anyway, my hips are titanium. That's the word I was looking for.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've got a mechanical heart valve, and part of my aorta is plastic.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Dacron. I want to thank Dow Chemical for my life right now.
I will never bitch about my disabilities ever again.
No, so there's a side component. I'm an alcoholic, so it's like, there's that. You know what I'm saying? But
excuse me. And then so the reason I'm saying all this is so that if there's any other veterans out there that haven't gone to the VA, put your pride to the side, go get it done, shut the hell up, get it done, get through it, and then come out the other side. Because even if you only because the thing is I'm making 70% right now, so I'm getting $1,400 a month.
Excellent.
And that's not taxed. It doesn't count as income. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Free straight money from the government just because the military screwed me up.
Well, so, and it's like in my opinion, that's not enough for somebody that put their life on their line for this country. No,
and there's lots of people that feel that way, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, anything in my eyes, something's better than nothing. Mm-hmm. And they don't count it as income, so hey, that's pretty friggin' handy.
Indeed. All right, so let's talk about. All right, so let's kind of shift gears, and unless there's anything else you wanted to say about that. First, I forgot to ask you, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ben and Jerry's half baked.
Nice. Yes. All right, you want to talk about Warhammer a little bit?
Sure. Well, one more thing. Let me get to the 9/11 story real quick.
Oh, dude, that's right. All right, so I'm totally sorry.
You're okay. You're okay.
Definitely roll with that.
The my 9/11 story is not very dramatic, although it is very stupid. So I'm in the shower and I'm listening to Bob and Tom on the radio. Now, Bob and Tom, for those of you who don't know, are they're a radio show, a joke radio show. They do a lot of comedy. So Bob comes on and goes, and a plane just flew into the World Trade Center, you know, and I'm getting out of the shower. So I start laughing, figuring I missed the first part of the joke. And there's dead silence on the radio, which there's never dead silence, you know, on their show.
Right.
And I'm drying off with the towel going, and I start slowing down, and I'm like, yeah, he's got to be kidding. He's got to be kidding. So I put the towel up, and I go to shave, and I shave. And I hear him say again, as soon as I put the shaving cream on my face, I hear him say, no, seriously, there is a plane that just hit the World Trade Center.
Holy shit.
And I'm like sitting there shaving, and I said, oh, got about that far and my phone rang, and I was like, here we go. So I shaved really quick and got to the vault, the intelligence vault. And I walk into basically pandemonium because since the first plane hit, nobody has any idea what the hell's going on. So we've got FBI offices calling us. We've got CIA guys calling us. We've got DIA, DOD. Everybody's calling everybody, trying to figure out what in the Sam hell happened. You know, as far as the intelligence structure went, nobody knew anything for like that first 30 minutes. Nobody had any ideas. Yeah,
it was crazy, man.
Yeah, because I had a field office in DC called me. I got orders from my major at the time to call a field office down in Florida. Yeah, it was weird because the thing was that what had happened was the military does not do okay, so how do I say this? So everybody's got their area of operations depending on what base you're with. Okay, so like an F-16 will have like CENTCOM, and this other thing will have PATCOM. You know what I mean? So Pacific Command or Central Command or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if certain areas you're designated to look at, and that's all you do. We are basically WorldCom with the B-1Bs, the bombers. We can go anywhere over the entire planet, so the entire planet is our job. So we got to know all the threats everywhere, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why people were calling us from the FBI, was because they wanted to know if we knew of any foreign intelligence services or anything else, or if we'd heard anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which we hadn't, but that wasn't the point. That and the FBI, the two agents I talked to, the FBI was just overrun with politicians calling them, with newspapers calling them, with other agencies calling them. So they were just, you know, however bad we were getting hammered with phone calls, they were getting it 1,000 times worse.
Right.
So, because everybody just flat out panicked, as far as I could tell. On the intelligence side of the board, everybody scrambled. So, but that's my 9/11 story.
Led to the Patriot Act and unified all the agencies together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they had access to each other's information. Actually,
well, and I think that's one of the reasons they did it, because, yeah, during 9/11, in those first early hours, if you were in, at least for us being an intel shop, it was absolutely insane. And for weeks after that, we got asked by everybody, every commander we had on base, all the way from the 1-star to our wing commanders or colonels, would ask us damn near every day in the briefings, you know, do you have any new information? Do you have any new information? Do you have any, you know, it was just like relentless. It was like, no, we don't know anything, dude.
Man.
So anyway,
All right, so let's see. All right, so we're moving to the Warhammer. The topic. Talk about Warhammer. What got you into it? Tell me about it. See, I don't know jack shit about it. I've been around it and seen it and seen the figures and stuff. I build static scale models, right? So I know a lot of the painting techniques and stuff. You know, it's like we share a lot of that stuff. But I don't know jack squat about the game or the lore behind it or anything. So,
well, yeah, you've got the models, the tabletop models which people play, and the tabletop model rules never reflect what the lore says. Almost ever, things aren't near as powerful. In other words, on the tabletop, and you have to do that because of balancing mechanics, obviously. Because it's a game,
right?
Can't have them as powerful as you can in the fluff, and so that's a major thing. People really, it irks some people really hard that they don't do that in the books. And I'm just like, look, it's, you know, one's a fictitious story, the other one's, no kidding, you're playing with your friend. It has to be balanced. It can't just be, you know, straight up powerful. You know, you can't do that. Otherwise, you break the game. But the world of Warhammer is pretty much, in a nutshell, you're screwed, I'm screwed, everybody's screwed, everything's terrible, have a nice day.
It's like somebody described it to me as this, like Space Vikings.
No, think space, what was he? So, okay. So basically, here's what happened. I'll give you a real quick rundown. So basically what happened was way back in the day, humans, us, now, we progress to a certain point and we start conquering the galaxy, okay? And we're a federation. So, like, think Star Trek kind of thing,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
So we run around and do all this, and we're using AI, and we create two kinds of robots, some called Golden Men and some called Stone Men. Now, Stone Men are basically grunts. They're the workers. They're the robots that do all the heavy work. So it's a post, what would you call it? Post-scarcity environment is what it is. So there's no scarcity of any kind of goods at all. And the Golden Men are the ones that plan everything for they basically plan our societies, trade routes, all that stuff.
Right.
So this is all AI. We don't even fight our own wars anymore at this point because we're so advanced. Now, the warp is basically hell, okay? It's where all your emotions that you have go to the warp, okay? They feed the demons in the warp, okay?
Okay.
So what happens is that psychers start waking up, or psychers start happening. Humans start having psychers being born, and psychers can harness the power of the warp. The problem is they're harnessing the power of hell. And it's real easy for a demon, for you to be channeling the power of the warp, and a demon to go, ooh, I'm going to take you over because you don't know what you're doing. Or turn you into a fleshy gateway, directly to hell. Gateway.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Or possess you and start murdering everyone around you. Or, and the thing is that the gods in the warp, there's 4 of them. There's Korn, god of combat, pretty much. Then there's Nurgle, god of pestilence and disease. Slaanesh, who always gets a bad rep. Everybody thinks that Slaanesh is the god of sex. It's not the god of sex. It's the god of excess. Okay? And right. Then you have the last one, Zinch is the god of communism. Just kidding. He's the god of conspiracies. He's the seeker of knowledge. So he's that one. So the thing, and all 4 are extremely evil. Well, they're not extremely evil. They're not evil. They're brutal, should I say? They're only concerned with feeding themselves on a very primal level.
Right.
So as soon as these gates start opening up, all these psychers start doing their thing. All these hordes of hell start advancing through. Well, they basically just wreck the entire federation of, galactic human, whatever. So all these planets start getting, and then at the same time, warp storms start opening up everywhere, making it impossible to go to travel to them beyond the speed of light. Right? So you only have conventional travel between solar systems now.
Right.
Which is gonna take thousands and thousands and thousands
generations.
Of years.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, everybody's cut off from each other. Now steps in the Emperor of Man on Earth. He comes about and says, okay, well, I'm going to unify humanity. This is stupid. So he creates these guys called Thunder Warriors. Okay, it's his first, it's like Astartes Type 1, right? And the Thunder Warriors run around the planet with him, and he kills lots of armies, and he basically combines the entire planet under his rule, okay?
Right.
And a little dirty secret about him is that he actually kills the Thunder Warriors off at the end of the unification. So he wipes out all the Thunder Warriors using his personal bodyguards and the Astartes, which are the Space Marines. So he brings them all to this place and says, we're going to have a parade. Doesn't give them any guns or ammo, the Thunder Warriors.
Right.
And so they all gather up on this hill, and then he surrounds them with him, his Custodes, and the Astartes, and they basically murder every single one of them. And the reason they do this is because the Thunder Warriors are too imbalanced to be good at conquering the galaxy. They're too short-tempered. They're too crazy. They're too, they're not balanced enough. And Astartes will take the time to consider and ponder whether he should kill you or not. And he'll probably still kill you. But the Thunder Warrior wouldn't do that. They're hyper-aggressive. So they wouldn't even think about it. They just murder you, period.
Right.
So that's why he had to get rid of them. And then so he invents his Primarchs, which are his sons. He grows them in a test tube just like the first Astartes. And basically the gods of chaos get onto his plan that he's trying to reunify the entire Imperium of Man.
Right.
And so the Chaos Gods come back and go, oh, no, screw you. And they take all his sons, the 20 Primarchs that are in those test pods, and they basically scatter them all over the universe. So he has to go running around looking for them, and he gathers them up finally. And then they go around conquering the entire universe. And then Chaos corrupts one of his sons completely. He gets, I think it's like 8 of his brothers to join him. And the other 8 that 9 join Horus. 9 stay with the Emperor because there's 2 missing. We don't know where they went either, by the way. And so they start fighting because Chaos has turned half against the Emperor.
Right.
So they start fighting. The Emperor gets mortally wounded, gets thrown on the Golden Throne, which barely keeps him alive, and basically he's kind of like a lighthouse now, a psychic beacon, so you can steer around the universe and know where you're at. And that's basically where the story's at.
That is crazy. And
yes.
So it's all about just territorial taking, warfare.
Well, and the thing is exactly. It's basically a dystopian perpetual war. What you're seeing in Warhammer 40K is quite literally the downfall of man. It's the crumbling of an empire. It's kind of like Rome right before when Rome starts to crumble down and starts to degenerate, and they start losing territory and all the power and everything. Yeah,
like in the 300.
That's what.
Yeah,
that's like 40K. That's what 40K is.
Sweet.
So it's not. Yeah.
Go ahead,
sorry.
No, it sounds fun actually. To kind of get into the lore behind it and stuff. It reminds me a little bit about like the whole deal with BattleTech and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's got its own thing to it, and the gameplay is a completely different animal, right? But the lore, it's like it's like I've got an old saying: everybody's queer for something. And it's, seriously, man. I mean, it's like, everybody has something they can get really rectal about, real anal, Like I do with models and stuff. It's like I'll flip out if I can't, if I'm trying to recreate like a specific tank or some shit like that. I really have to, I'm really picky about it. Other people say, "Oh, that looks great, man. That's great." It's, oh my God, it's the worst thing I've done. So it's the fan side and the love of it. I saw an interview with a guy that knew everything there was about coconuts, and that was his thing, right? I think everybody's got something that they're into like that. I say clear for it because it's
and the thing is too to understand about Warhammer 40K is that there is no good guy. So it doesn't matter what race you look at. It doesn't matter what alien species you look at. It doesn't matter who you admire. Even the Astartes aren't good guys. It's all based on your perception, because the Empire, the Empire of Man, as it sits, their generals have a saying: use soldiers use soldiers as often as you would expend ammunition. So they don't care. They just don't care. 1 million guys die in a ground battle. They wouldn't even blink at it.
Damn, dude.
The Imperium. I mean, and here's the thing: is that the Imperium at large, the big boys, the Senate and everybody else, the big boys that run the entire, the entire universe or galaxy. Sorry, they can have the Towel, let's say, come in, and they'll take over 3 or 4 planets, right? Mm-hmm. And the Empire of Man won't even react to it. They don't even care. Or the Tyranids will come in and wipe out a planet, and the Imperium won't even notice it for like 300 years. Because they're made up of hundreds of millions of worlds.
Dude.
So if you lose 1 or 2, it's like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not a, so yeah, I mean, it's, so you'll hear and see and read things that are like, they walked in and wiped out 14 billion people. Well, yeah, but you got to understand from their perspective, that's 14 billion is nothing, vaporizing an entire planet. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's like, a surrounding error, right?
Right, exactly.
When you're playing a numbers game. So it's like, yeah, I get it, man.
It's like when you get to double digits, come talk to me. I might care.
That's great. All right, so let's move into different aesthetics. Are you a fan of horror films?
No, because they scare me.
Oh.
Well, funny thing, I actually do like horror movies. Because they do scare me. I absolutely am terrified of playing horror video games because they really, really terrify me.
Well, all right. So what when you think of a movie, all right, that really hits you, what movie would that be, horror wise?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
the original. Or the remake with the earlier.
Oh, the remake. That one made me jump a lot. Dude. The one that unsettled the hell out of me. It didn't really scare me. It just unsettled the living crap out of me. Was what is it called? Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah.
Because at the time I went camping a lot.
That's right. Yeah, man, that scene where she opens the thing and it's got the teeth in it. I'm like, oh my God, this is fucked up. That was, I remember there was a whole, viral internet. It was one of the first movies that utilized the internet, with the viral campaign. And it worked really well.
It went really well. And then there's the other one where it's a family and you never actually get to see it's all shot on the security cams for the house. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember the name of it. But
Paranormal?
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. And you never get to see the monster really, but the guy gets folded in half at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, yeah, the unsettling movies are the ones I like, and the ones I really, really, whether they're the movies that I absolutely love, whether they're horror or not, is the psychological ones.
Nice.
The ones that screw with your mind.
Oh, yeah.
I love those.
Yes.
Love those movies.
I do too. That's kind of the point now for me. You know, it's like monsters are cool and all that shit, but I want something that's going to fuck with my head and make me think about it for weeks. Going, oh my god, could have thought
right.
that.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing too. Is I think that comes with age. I mean, I could be wrong on it, but I think it comes with age too, because you get to a point where you get the up 40s and up, and you've basically seen goddamn near everything there is.
No doubt.
There's not a whole lot left. But the psychological terror is cool, because psychological, you can go on you can see the same thing over and over and over again, and if you twist it just a little bit different, it'll make you think different things every time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, a great movie like that's The Birds. I think it's you never really know what the fuck's going on, but it's just crazy. All right, so what about sci-fi? Are you into any science fiction books or with 40K
40K?
stuff? Yeah, I figured that. What about movies and stuff? Anything non-40K?
Aliens.
Right?
Aliens, I really like. Predator, I really like.
Nice. Classics.
Yeah, the first Alien and Aliens, I like those. The Aliens video game, love that.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about the one that where you're on.
It's called Aliens something or other. I forget what the name is, but yeah, that the horror one, really good.
Yeah, I bet.
Another game that throws me for a loop that I really liked was Amnesia and Soma. Those two were really good because they're psychological screwing with your head.
Oh, dude, I think I got Amnesia. I need to look at it. I haven't played it yet, though.
Yeah, IRATE, if you haven't played Soma, I'm telling you, play it.
Okay.
It is completely psychologically, it messes with your brain so hard.
All right.
Because it begs the question, what does it mean to be human, or what does it mean to be you? And it's done really, really well. Just the whole game hits those notes of what does it mean to be you and authentically you. Because it's just, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's just, it's crazy.
That sounds cool, man.
And if you need me to gift it to you on Steam, let me know. I'll do it. Okay. It's that good. I'll do it.
Damn. You're making me offer, can't refuse, son. All right. Let's move on. What about TV series? Is there any series? Everybody's been like at home, binge watching all kinds of shit.
Honestly, it's gonna sound stupid. The Office. I've been watching the living shit.
Man, people were talking about that the other night. Man, they made them take that the diversity training episode out.
Yep.
Just like raising hell about that. So yeah, it's September the I want to say 5th in 2021 for the people listening to a recorded version of this. So that's why we just found all that out like Thursday or Friday it came out. Mm-hmm. They took it out because it was offensive, and I heard it's funny as shit.
Yeah, no, it's great because Michael does the whole. Every time a black man, it's just, and the diversity officer is going, shut up.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, from a SJW standpoint, wouldn't that confirm like not patriarchy, but white, white supremacy? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of the ideas of the left are just absolute horseshit. But
you're not wrong.
I just and I still think not everyone, but I think that some or most of the people that are using the non-binary stuff have a mental disorder.
I hear you.
And it's not to slam.
It used to be diagnosed as a mental disorder. True. What's it called? Gender dysphoria disorder.
Well, no. That to me is different. The trans crowd is a completely different animal from the non-binary crowd to me.
Yeah,
absolutely two different animals.
We call those transtrenders here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the trans folks for the dysmorphia thing, okay, cool. If you're going through transitioning and all that stuff, to me, that's a different animal completely. If you're just saying, I feel like a chair today, and and I want you to call me they, them, because my neighbor said it was a good idea. Yeah, you have a mental disorder. You're messed up in the head. You need help.
Well, yeah, man. The other night, all right, so I'm watching this thing, and it's this chick with green hair and green eyebrows bitching at people because she's gender fluid and her boyfriend is gender fluid. So when they get it on, she's not a girl and he's not a guy.
Yeah,
right?
See, that's a mental disorder.
It's that's just stupid. Oh, come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you have to jump through that many hoops to justify being straight, there's something fucked up, about what's going on. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's talk about anime. Do you have any favorite anime?
One Punch Man.
He's awesome. He's Saitama.
I love One Punch Man.
Saitama-san. Yeah, he's awesome too. All right, and this is where I ask you if you have any scars, tattoos.
No, actually,
piercings.
I am nope. I've been told by my buddy that's been to prison 3 times I am the weirdest damn veteran he's ever known in his life.
That is a vet thing, isn't it?
Because, well, I'll listen to heavy metal. I'm a veteran. I love my heavy metal, as I posted to you on Twitter. I love my ministry. Corn, stuff like that, heavy angry stuff.
That's right. We were talking about ministry on Twitter, weren't we?
Yeah,
dude.
And I've hung out my entire life with basically troublemakers and ne'er-do-wells. And I don't have a single tattoo or piercing,
which amazes me that we haven't hung out more often. Just saying, because I fit that bill perfectly.
Yeah,
I'm a total miscreant.
That's my crowd. I understand them.
All right, so
I get those people.
All right, this is the place in the show where I go over what's called the pivot questions or the James Lipton questions. You remember a show called Inside the Actor Studio, where James Lipton would talk to a lot. I mean, every famous actor that's been alive has done his show back before he died. And he passed away, and I decided that, all the 10 questions he asked everybody, I'm going to incorporate that into this thing, right?
Sure.
And so, and it always begins with, what's your favorite word?
My favorite what?
Word?
No.
What's your least favorite word?
No.
That's right. All right. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Interpretations and asking questions.
What turns you off?
Utopia.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What sound or noise do you love? You're doing great.
I don't know if I have a sound or a noise that I really like. Girls moaning. There we go.
All right. What about the sound or noise that you hate?
Guys moaning.
Nice. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Space. I was a space explorer.
Sweet. All right. What profession would you not like to attempt?
Anything to do with farm animals.
Okay. And finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you at the pearly gates when you're there? Gonna come in.
Hey man, I tried. That's about it, really. It's kind of what I expect to hear is, well, I mean, you got to meet who I got to work with, so...
Right?
I'd be like, yeah, that's a good point.
All right, so this is a point, all right, where it's time for the chat to start loading questions in, and I got a couple.
Oh, no.
I've got a couple I'll ask you. If somebody had put some stuff, I'll try to scroll up later, but usually put like multiple question marks, chat, if you're new, so I'll know that, you want me to ask the question. And before, any loads up, if you could go back in time and spend a week with anybody, who would it be and why?
A week with anybody.
From history. That's the way I take it.
I'll say my dad. Another week with my dad would be cool.
I hear you.
I don't really think anybody from history really has that much to offer as far as what I can't find in a book. I mean,
cool.
I'm not really curious that much about them.
All right. So one of the questions I do remember somebody asked earlier was, did you have any encounter with any UFO phenomena?
No, actually, I've never had an encounter with any ghost, demon, angel, and or UFO. No.
Okay.
And I don't believe in any of them. However, here's the thing: is what I will say. So I'm highly skeptical of all. Okay. However, I come from the belief that I will never ever tell somebody that ghosts, aliens, etc., don't exist. And the reason for that is math, because it is mathematically impossible for it not to at least have happened once.
I hear you. See, I like that open-mindedness, man. All those lefties, claim to have open minds, but they're slammed shut with their cult beliefs.
Right. Well, I mean, the simple truth of the matter is that if the equation is infinite, whether or not I know what the hell the equation is or how to state it doesn't matter, because if it's infinite, it has a yes answer at some point.
Right. Exactly.
It just does. So that's all I need to know.
I dig that, man. All right, so let's see. Since your mom was a leftist, this is a question from the Dark Conservatarian, guy that has done this show. Good guy. Since your mom was a leftist or is a leftist, what are your beliefs, and when did you come to those beliefs? What is your political evolution, personal?
The center right. I used to be a lefty when I was a little kid. The problem I had is that being over analytical as a kid, the issue I had was that my mom would tell me things, and then I would look in reality and it wouldn't match up. And this kept happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So about at the age of 16, 17, I went, none of this matches up. And so I kind of flushed politics all the way till I was about 23, flushed it all away from me. Then I kind of came back into it because the 9/11 truthers came out of the woodwork. And at that point I was like, oh, okay, these guys are idiots. And the thing is that when I started looking so that kind of got me back into politics, and I just kind of picked and chose what I liked, like things like gay marriage, I don't care about. The abortion thing, I think we do need to have abortions legal, but they need to be only legal to a certain limit. So you can't just have them all day, all the way through the pregnancy. You can't do that. The thing about guns, Second Amendment, don't touch it. Leave it the hell alone. People need to have their guns.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So stuff like that. There's stuff like the economy and how we do welfare and stuff. I do believe we need to have welfare. We do need to have those social benefits in there. However, we need to have them. I think we need to have them curbed to a point where we're helping people get out of them, not keep them in it. Because right now, that's what we do.
A hand up instead of a handout.
Right. And the thing is that the left, because I'll have lefties go, oh, so you agree with me? And I'm like, no, I don't. Because you're saying increase them and keep them forever. I'm saying restructure the whole damn thing so people can get out. That's economically responsible. That's actually a conservative thing, not a liberal thing.
Right.
So it that's why I say I'm center right, because there's lots of things where I'm like mismatched on.
Right. All right. So what do you? All right. So do you have any strange collections, or any collections?
No, actually, the strangest thing I collect is nothing. I don't collect anything.
Okay. Cool.
Actually.
All right.
It's a good question. That's a good question. I actually I realized.
Yeah, that's the Becca specials or the ice cream. What's your favorite flavor? And so
I collect friends, I guess.
yeah. Becca Fairley is,
and it's a bitch irate because the basement is filling up really quickly.
Well, shit! I was just packing my bag.
Don't worry, we got a spot all picked out for you. All right, don't worry.
All right. So, what do you think about Barber for you to see? I remember I told you before that he would ask that question.
That is one of the hottest little ladies on the internet.
Yeah,
would hit it in a heartbeat. Don't care what her politics are. I don't care about any of it. No, she's a hot little thing. Period.
Have you seen the anime Pipa?
No.
What do you think of Dragon Ball?
It's there. I don't know. I don't watch Dragon Ball. Not a big Dragon Ball fan. I tried to get into it. A friend of mine was into it, and I tried to get into it, and it never worked.
Okay.
I never liked it.
There's a variation of this question, but all right. So, if you met yourself from an alternate universe, and you had sex, would that be gay or would it be masturbation?
It'd be gay masturbation.
Fair enough. It would be both. Nice.
There you go.
All right. Trippy Cass asks, "What's your favorite testicle? Which one? Lefty or righty?"
Trippy Cast testicles, because they're on Trippy Cast. So obviously, my favorite testicles are on the Trippy Cast.
That's right. What do you think of Boku no Pico? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
I don't either. What do you think of the Hannibal Lecter movies?
Love them. Love Hannibal Lecter. He's my hero.
Kitties or doggos?
Kitties.
Have you ever seen a man naked that you thought wasn't naked enough? Trippy.
Trippy again, yes. Yes, Trippy.
Trippy, yeah, absolutely.
I remember once Trippy took his shirt off on camera, I think, and that was way, way too much clothes on for Trippy. I wanted to see the full show. That's what I wanted to see, and I was not given the full show, and now I'm sad.
What's the best old school meme?
That's a good question. I guess fuck your feelings. I guess this is
That's all I got. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Roots Calhoun wants to know.
Yes, and he gets handsy as hell. I don't recommend it.
All right, yeah. And as a matter of fact, people, Roots will be in the seat next week, and so you'll look forward to that, I'm sure. Let's see. I gotta show myself, man. You know, nobody else is gonna do it. What's your favorite Marvel and DC characters?
Deadpool. And Deadpool.
I was gonna say Deathstroke.
No. Deadpool and jeez. I don't know. It's pretty much just been Deadpool since I was like 12.
Deadpool rules, man.
Yeah, you know? And the reason I like him so much is because he's an anti-hero that's a smart ass. That's what I love about the guy.
Indeed. And he's kind of crazy too, because his brain's been damaged and scar tissue. And it's like, I love that shit. It's good. What is the most disturbing thing you have ever seen and done?
Oh, okay. We go back to the military for this one. Okay, so this was in Serbia again. I got roped into doing this where they needed a intel body to go do this. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But I was roped into go into a little village with some spec op guys, and they God, this is such an embarrassing story. They took my weapon.
Whoa.
They let me have my pistol, but they took my rifle. I wasn't allowed to have it because I had a camera with me. And again, this is back in 1998. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, we couldn't get satellites on what was going on. So they basically had me with a camera. Now, the thing is that lots of times when for whatever reason, we must have had a deal with somebody over there, because where we operated at, sometimes they wouldn't fire at us. Lots of times. Even if they saw us, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't shoot. Not sure why, but that was what was going on. Anyway, so I'm sitting there with the camera and I'm going to take a picture. And basically I'm just taking a picture of artillery pieces. And there's this kid on a corner block with an AK-47. He can't be more than 16, 17 years old. And he's eating looks like a ham sandwich. And a shot rings out and part of his head blows off.
Oh, dude.
And another kid walks up who's maybe 14 and picks up the ham sandwich, I'm not even kidding you, dusts some of his brains off and keeps eating it.
Holy shit.
And I'm not sure what kind of sandwich it was, but yeah, it was the most craziest thing I've ever seen.
That war, man, I mean, it just showed off some fucking inhuman motherfuckers, man.
Oh, yeah. Well,
on both sides of the deal, right?
See, and that was the thing, is we were on like the Kosovo-Serbian border kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those towns that was along that border. And the thing is we had gone in there 6 or 7 times. And like I said, both sides never seemed to fire on us when we went there. I never read a report where they ever did. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing was, so it must have been like a UN check or something. Somebody had a deal with somebody, I guarantee you. But the thing was, that was the craziest shit I ever saw in my life. I was just kind of taken aback, because when I got out of the military and I'd run into people that were, in St. Louis or wherever else, and they were, 18, 19, 16 years old, and they'd be like, yeah, I'm hard as fuck. I'd be like, no, no, you're not.
Right. Jesus.
That crazy bastard.
They don't have any idea of like the former, even the former Russia, the former Soviet people and the whole Eastern Bloc pretty much is a bunch of sociopaths, to some degree.
Well, and the thing people don't appreciate in Serbia and Kosovo, until you start looking into it, there was a lot of warlords over there. And now we call them, in America, we call them gangsters. But basically, they were just really big gangs is what they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have a war-torn city, which is basically what the entire border became, was just one completely screwed up, rubble-strewn area. And yeah, you had gangs all over the place, or mercs, or, whatever else. So it was a hodgepodge of just nasty, crazy crap.
Man. All right, so would you join the pancake religion?
Yes. Pancakes are awesome.
They are awesome.
I'd also join the bacon religion.
What's your favorite muscle car, dude? That's a good question.
Oh, Charger.
Nice. What year? You got a year specific?
No, not really. I just like the fact that they're big, made of steel.
Yeah. The new ones especially, man. God, they're gorgeous. Yeah, they're beautiful. All right, so Daco from Ring of the Ring versus Kyako from The Grudge. Who would win? And there's actually a movie that's directed by Junji Ito. I think Soji Koji Shirashi. Yes. Who would win, do you think?
One Punch Man. That's who would win.
That's the best answer. Indeed,
yes, it is.
It is. Let's see. All right. I think we're going to finish up with what's the best slasher monster?
Oh, slasher monster? Let's see. A slasher monster. The one where they're stuck in the North Pole and that thing's taking over people's bodies.
Yeah, The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
Yeah, the John
Thing. I would say
Carpenter.
The Thing.
Yes, man.
Yeah, that, holy God. Talk about gore.
That's one of the best, I think, horror films ever made. It's sci-fi. It's technically it's sci-fi, so fuck yeah.
Yeah, that scared the ever living Jesus out of me.
Yeah, Carpenter. I could talk about Carpenter for hours.
And the worst thing I ever read. So the whole thing in the Serbia is tied with another thing that I read. I was 1 week into reading you have the internet, and then you have the secret side of the internet, and then you have the top secret side of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on what information is flowing through it. Anyway, so one of the reports we got was from Africa, right? And it said that people had gone into a church, and it was about 2 pages long. It was a report from I think it was like CIA or somebody. Not really sure, but it doesn't really matter what the source was. The point is that apparently they had herded all these people into a church and then cut them into tiny, tiny, tiny pieces.
Jesus.
And we're talking like 200 people.
Yeah. Women
and children. And it was really graphic. And then it came out in the news a couple months later, I think, or a couple weeks later. But yeah, it was. I had to read stuff like that like every day around the world happening to people. So.
Dude. All right, we're back at the YouTube side of things. All right, so yeah, really, you've made it. You've made it through my intrusive and nosy ass questions, right? And we only got a couple left. So
I'll be canceled. I'll be canceled for my answers later.
And remember, fam. All right, all the links are down below. I've got if you look, oh no, dude, oh shit, it got wiped out.
That's okay,
man. Fuck. I'm very embarrassed because I had your information completely loaded in here, and for some reason it changed. I use Restream, so I will fix that. I'm going to go ahead and pull your channel up, though, for sure. Okay, Cullivar? I'm sorry about that,
right,
man. All right?
That'll work. Yeah, you're all good.
Okay. And
just so everybody's aware, TrippyCast is still my sexual fantasy. That will never change.
Damn. I never knew. I never knew.
Oh, TrippyCast has done that for years.
I'm sure. I'm sure he is definitely a special dude, man. That's for, and I don't mean special Olympic special. I mean just a special dude.
Oh, I was talking like short bus special, but yeah.
You were talking.
How do you think I got him in the van? I had some candy. That's all.
This is Cullivar's YouTube link. Subscribe. Join the masses to do that. And I will. What I'll do is I'm going to add this shit right here now. Okay.
Cool.
All right, and oh no, man. All right, it says it's on there. All right, here's what we'll do. I'm going to. Do you want your Discord in there?
Sure. If people want to get on it, I'm never on it. So I made Discord mainly because a bunch of my fans started yelling at me in the comments to make a Discord, so I made them a Discord.
Gotcha. Oh, that is so weird. All right. I'm gonna have to go into the this is embarrassing as fuck, man. I gotta go into my studio, man, all the way. So this is where I ask you while I'm doing that shit. All right, who would you say is a criminally undersubscribed YouTuber that you want to promote? Pretty much.
TrippyCast.
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 That's a solid one there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even if he is a crazy clown.
Hey, man, he's our favorite crazy clown.
That's right. That's right.
All right, now let's see if I got your stuff down there. There you go. Kullivar SOCMED. Got it down twice. All right, and it's okay for people to join your server.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Because I put the Discord link on there too. All right, cool. Sorry about that, fam. Hey, I had to boomer something, you know. Right? It's the guy. It's not an IRATE show unless he boomers something.
That's true.
All right. So, what about a YouTuber you think is way overhyped?
What do I think is way overhyped?
Yeah, that you don't understand.
The only thing I can think of that's way overhyped, I totally understand it, but I think it's way overhyped, is basically Twitter and the left wing and all their little concerns about trying to build this weird utopian ideal. They're basically doing the Christian right does, which is they're turning around and saying, and I'm not talking about, I'm Christian and I'm a Republican. I'm talking, I'm Christian and you serve the Bible or else.
Right.
Kind of. Yeah. That kind.
But yeah, fanaticism on either side, man. It's all fanaticism.
It's gotten kind of crazy. Because I'm used to, you guys got to understand, I'm used to Democrats or left wings or liberals talking about stuff like workers' unions, right. Or we should pay teachers more, or, the stuff like that. The left has gone completely insane. I don't know what's going on over there. But if I was a Democrat, I'd be lost because the party has just gone insane.
Well, all right. What do you think people will be nostalgic for in 40 years, internet-wise?
The freedom to say what they want.
Dude, you don't, man, you'll never know how common that is the answer. Everybody's saying that, man. Do you have, all right, so what about, let's go ahead and do you have anything new that you got coming up, content-wise, that you want everybody to know about?
Yeah, I'm working on getting back into, I had a tooth infection, a really bad one. So I took a month off. So my channel pretty much almost died pretty much because of it. Because I couldn't do voiceovers and stuff. So I got the tooth fixed. So now we're back on the horse, and I'm going to be dropping more 40K lore videos, more 40K fan fictions, and I'm going to be dropping stories, audiobook stories of a story I'm writing. So,
well, dude, I say everybody subscribe to this guy. His Twitter link's in there. He posts cool shit. We'll often talk about rock and roll. I'm down with industrial music, man. I'm just saying. Boom. And before we part, show your channel and give a final word for the chat and everybody watching, man, because I'm out of question.
Okay. I'm Kullivar. I do videos, 40K, do the story stuff, and occasionally I stream games live. Other than that, let's just come over, and I hope you guys check it out, and I hope you guys like what you see.
Well, and that, all right, so tomorrow, Beck and I will be doing extra credit with Becca Fairley. I'm not sure what we're going to look at because what we did, Thursday night was so impactful. But I definitely want to try to do that again, and maybe do some. Anyway, and Wednesday we have moved XD, also known as Accelerated Deconstruction, to Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central. That's 8:30 p.m. Eastern and 5:30 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to check it out. We're gonna follow up with the Natomas Unified School District. Thing with the communist teacher that was bragging on to Project Veritas about how he had 180 days to create revolutionaries. A history teacher.
Cool.
Yeah. Living human fecal matter, in my opinion. He's a communist, dude. He's full-fledged. He's teaching them communism and activism and shit. Mao Zedong, he idolizes. If you idolize Mao Zedong, you're a fucking moron. I'm just saying.
See, this is what you should always ask, IRATE. You should ask any lefty that comes on that's a communist or a socialist. Ask them if they've read the Gulag Archipelago.
Indeed, man. You know, and so does Nietzsche. Anything he's written, you know, it's like I haven't read enough of it. I haven't read that book. I've read, there was a short thing, and I can't remember the title of it, but he was talking about, I mean, God almighty, man. He went through some shit, you know?
Yeah, the Gulag Archipelago is a dark, freaking dark book.
Does he talk about how he got sent to the Gulag?
No. What he did something even worse. What he did was he ran around and he gathered all these firsthand witness stories from people that were in the gulags.
Okay.
So it's a 3-book collection of just stories of the gulags and how they. I think the first book is about the first couple chapters of the book, if I'm remembering correctly, were about how the gulags operated, how they positioned themselves and how they worked, and how the cops would come and grab you and why they'd grab you and how they all the little tricks and stuff they used to use on people. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it's just firsthand accounts of people eating other people, just crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, we did a thing on Cannibal Island a couple months back. As a matter of fact, it got me spanked by Susan to the point of where I decided to move that specific show to Twitch because,
right.
I mean, dude, it's like I was good. My channel was going to get yeeted.
Oh yeah,
and
see, and the funny thing about Twitch is loaded with so many lefties. I'll go and find the some of the stuff like Cannibal Island and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's free on YouTube, and then I'll stream it while I'm playing a video game on Twitch, just because I know a lefty will walk into my channel at some point and go, "Oh my god," and then run away screaming with their head on fire. No doubt. That's why I do it. It's fun. Because I was going to play the video game anyway, so why not? It's fun to listen to, and it's like it's something I was going to listen to anyway. It's a video game I want to play anyway, so it's just them screaming and lighting themselves on fire is just icing on the cake at that point. It's just I can't help it. I'm trolly.
No, that's right. All right, well, let's say goodbye and get out of here, man. This is the show is ending, people. Treat each other like you want to, what you would like to be treated yourself. Just saying, life's so goddamn short for acrimony, and yet we're at each other's throats, and that's the way the politicians like it. And on that note, say goodbye, my man.
All right, we'll see you all later.